Here's why you're probably sleeping on one of the best customer acquisition channels if you run a B2B product or service. And who am I to tell you this, right? Started two companies, SaaS companies, have an agency around cold email as well as LinkedIn. We've generated leads from Google, Decathlon, GitLab, Freshworks, Vanguard. The list keeps going up and up. But what's impressive is I did this bootstrap from India with a team of just two when we just started. Now we've expanded and we're focusing more on top of the funnel LinkedIn content, and we have a top lead generation voice of 12,000 followers on LinkedIn. We generate about 500K plus impressions, and this is not our maximum efforts. We've had more than 1 million for some of the clients we manage. We also have this effect that we call the inbox Paris effect. Within 90 days of onboarding, we have one or two viral posts for some of our customers. Um, so now that you have an introduction about what I've done for me as well as my clients, I want a couple of minutes of your time for me to explain why top of the funnel LinkedIn content is something that you should not miss out on, especially if you have an active buying audience on LinkedIn. You're literally leaving money on the table. I've seen so many founders who have 12,000, 13,000 followers on LinkedIn and they've not posted for 3 to 8 months. And that's money just lying on the table. Leads are practically begging you to take their money. First thing you have to understand, B2B buyers, their journeys are not linear. They're not robots. So this is a research done by Gartner. If you're currently sending out cold emails, and I'm not here to shit on cold email, I've sent a lot of cold emails, over 1 million in 2023, and we've generated a lot of leads through that channel. That's not enough. I'll get to that a bit later. But if you're just looking at dashboards, which is what most founders are doing, you think of buying as a dashboard process where your B2B buyers are just robots. They see one ad or one cold email, they book a meeting, and then they magically buy. That is not how it happens. So you're just looking at 17% of the audience who are actively buying, and this is just within buyers groups. If you're sending out cold email campaigns, there's a good chance that only 5% of the people actually have this need. And even if you have it, you're just covering this top section of that buyers group. An average B2B buyer needs around 19 touch points to buy from you. And here's why it's important. Now, take this lead that we've generated, send them a message on March 25th, and then ended up booking a call in October. To how many of you is this very relevant? I've seen this happen time and time again. That when you're reaching out, they don't have an active need. When they actually need you, they don't know how to search for you. And that's why organic LinkedIn is so crucial. I would argue that it's not top of the funnel, it's not an optimization on top of the bottom of the funnel, it's actually operational. Two things I want to highlight here. Um, Apart from the date, I actually reached out to his co-founder, but I constantly kept them on my LinkedIn list, kept posting. So who do they think of as the first person to manage their LinkedIn when they have the need? It's me. So this noticed is not something that's random. It's engineered carefully, and that comes down to account-based marketing on top of LinkedIn content, right? So we book like 2 to 3 calls every single day just from my LinkedIn profile from people that we target in our pipeline 3 6 months ago, and this is combined with the cold email efforts that we're doing on top of the LinkedIn and Twitter retargeted ads we run, right? Um, so here's how we actually do it. It's a very simple, straightforward process. I'm going to just tell you everything I know about this specific funnel and why you should be pursuing it. We build an account based list, and this is not something that's random. This is not something like LinkedIn Sales Navigator or Apollo level. We hire these specific freelancers on top of Upwork and then go to these audiences that we know your customers are hanging out on so that we can have a clear understanding. For my ICP, it's like anybody who is listed on G2 or Clutch is so qualified to get from it. So we built these custom scrapers just to add these specific accounts, target them on cold email, cold ads on LinkedIn, Twitter, as well as run these retarget ads. do this content because people want to buy from you. They just don't have a need right now, right? And then we essentially keep posting content. Once we add them to your network, we keep posting content, figure out the right type of content to post, and these are great people from the other side of the world that we capture every single day, right? These people are saying that this is a great post, and let's keep them coming. And one strategy that other companies are not doing, especially with content, is you're running LinkedIn ads for a specific account list your marketing team put together because your sales team thinks they are the right set of accounts to target. Now, from an outside perspective, apart from revenue or hiring data, you really don't have a clear understanding of what their actual problems are. But people on a daily basis need to be entertained. They want to get on podcasts. They want to comment on the newsletters. So we set up these collaboration and we make it seamless. Like for example, if we target an account like Warmly, for example, we want to get in touch with them. We want to see if there is an actual need for their content marketing strategy on LinkedIn. We post something that's related to B2B SaaS, and then we don't even tag them, right? Other people end up tagging them, and we say that these are the top alternatives in that specific category. They reach out to us, and we see where we can collaborate. We actually ended up doing a podcast together, and that gave us 5 meetings from other people who are very qualified, right? And that's something that I see people not doing in their content strategy, especially when you think of account-based marketing. And then there are webinars, there are pages, there's so many strategies I can't really get into detail with. But if you just look at the analytics, break it down by how many people, what percentage of their company is actually viewing your LinkedIn, that's when you'll understand how powerful content is. Here's a funny stat, right? For every 5 organic posts, you see one ad. So if you're just running LinkedIn ads, your odds are lower by default. Right? You should be on their newsfeed organically, and that's where they really convert, and it needs to happen on a daily basis. Right? One more thing to think about is what gets the most number of visits. Even if you have a great SEO funnel, let's assume you're a pre-series A founder. So good chance that a lot of people are looking at your LinkedIn, your employees LinkedIn, your company LinkedIn page on a daily basis than they are going to your landing page. So why are you putting in all your efforts on just the landing page when it should be on a recurring basis on a place that they are hanging out on? More than 90% of executives that are in charge of making the buying decision of software products and services are active on LinkedIn. And that's exactly what you're missing out on, right? So how do we actually end up doing this? The first part is branding. So a lot of people just don't have an optimized LinkedIn profile. We have a 93-page checklist on the things that we look for in terms of writing the header. We have conducted experiments with over 5 Forbes 30 under 30 founders, and we know the exact parameters on how you need to phrase this. One more thing that I see is a lot of people don't have premium buttons. They don't have featured links. People tend to look at images more than they do in text. Like we had different e-meeting booking links. One in the header, one in the profile link, and one in the about section. And we ran this campaign, and we saw that most of the people are looking at the header. They're not even scrolling down. But then after that, most of the meetings get booked through the featured section followed by the about section. People don't care about the headline as much, but they do care about the headline when you're commenting on other people's posts, which I'll get to a bit later. But we have the specific data to see what works, what people are looking at, and where it actually converts. Right? So essentially, you need to establish authority about the problem that you're solving, whether it be a product or a service. And this is only for people in the software industry. Right? That's where we've seen the massive amount of success. Same with recruitment. Um, Again, one thing that I've noticed with leads that come from LinkedIn is that you never have to get ghosted. It's like even the people we send cold emails to, before we send the discovery call, we add them to our LinkedIn, and then we are posting every single day before the discovery call. So even if it goes bad, even if there is a pricing objection, they want to get your value. They want to keep looking at you. So they feel this obligation that I'm getting so much value that I feel guilty for ghosting them. So they come ahead and they say that, listen, we're going to do a fundraising round in the next 2 months. And that's why we are not proceeding right now. We have a pricing objection. More data equals more wins. And that's essentially what we look out for. And closing inbound leads is 6 times faster than closing outbound leads, because outbound leads you're not sure if they have a need, and the power play is just on their side. You're booking a meet time from their link. Inbound leads, they are coming to you, so you definitely have a ball in your court. You can decide whether you want to take them in or not. So how do we end up finding the winning content for these specific brands, especially when we're doing it for a wide variety of people, right? Of course, we're not going to lie. We're not a saint. We use this tool called Taplio. It's really good. We recommend it. And it allows you to essentially look at filters, look at topics that are actually selling. One more strategy that has worked really well for us is look at the content that's going viral on YouTube, Spotify, people reports from McKinsey, and all these different players that people are not actively reading because they have low attention spans, and then break it down into small size chunks so that you can distribute it on the place that they're actually hanging out on, which is for B2B, it's always LinkedIn. If you're B2C, you can definitely focus on Instagram or TikTok, right? So that's one part of our strategy. Second part is good content requires good post formats that sell on every single platform. So the success that we're able to create on LinkedIn, honestly, swear to God, I've not been able to create on Twitter. Why? Because I know how the LinkedIn audience thinks. We've been able to be on that platform 3 years. We've generated more than 6,000 odds appointments through LinkedIn, and we understand the sentiment behind that specific platform, and that is crucial when you're putting together an organic LinkedIn strategy. And when you think of organic LinkedIn strategy, it's not just about cross posting blogs, right? So again, like some of our viral posts, like over 200K visitors, we booked over 28 sales calls, qualified, top of the funnel content, did extremely well. But we also understand that virality does not equal qualified calls. A lot of times we end up going viral with over 60K, 100K impressions, but we end up booking 13 calls for other agencies who just want to coach us. That is not something we're looking for at this point, right? Um, but you can just go ahead and say that you've told me all your secrets. I can just go to Taplio and figure out the winning content and study LinkedIn and do it myself. Here's the catch: doing that is just half of the struggle. The real struggle is actually finding a network that you can distribute it onto. A lot of people, let's say you are running a service that provides LinkedIn branding. Now, if you post content, your competitors are going to see you before your customers, right? They end up engaging with your content. So you engage back with them. And then essentially you have become a fan to their content and you're promoting them more than you're promoting yourself. And there are so many hacks within the LinkedIn algorithm that does these specific things. So what you should be focusing on is commenting from your company page and your profile on your ICP customers and write content for them, not your competitors. But I see so many people doing this and they just don't have the time. If you are a founder, who really has the time to go through these comments every single day, make 20 of them, 3, 4 hours, right? So here's my pitch: you will get a 3 hour content strategy and a profile branding revamp for free if you take this call. All you have to do is go to inboxpirates.com/can, and I'm sure I will make your LinkedIn brand unignorable, unignorable, and will make your competitors lose their sleep. Let's get started. What are you waiting for? It's a no-brainer offer.